So, you want to invigilate a paper-based exam? Well, in that case, we'd better go through everything, right? Preparation is key to any invigilation process, and ensuring you have everything you need before starting will mean you're confident within the role. With that said, shall we begin? Before the learners enter the room, ensure the room is set up correctly and all the papers are in check. For the room, it goes without saying to make sure all aids such as workbooks and educational posters which may assist the learners are removed. Learners' seats should be a minimum of 1.5 metres apart and a clock should be visible to them at all times. Then, check the papers are correct, sealed and without any damage. If they are, let us know, will you? Only learners can open the sealed exam papers and they should do this at least 5 minutes before the examination is due to start. Don't forget, prior to the examination day, that all papers should be locked in a secure place, like a safe or a locked drawer. With the papers in check, ensure you have the correct declaration and learner list. When the time comes, it's important to make sure that the document is completed and the learners have signed their name with a signature, which is very important. Now the room's ready, we best get the learners in. Once all the learners have entered the room, please add a note on the door that reads "Examination in progress" for security and privacy reasons. Learners must complete the exam declaration with the learner's name, date of birth, email address, contact number and the all-important signature. With the learners settled at their desk, go through the examination conditions, how their smartphones and smartwatches should be switched off and removed away from them, or how water bottles shouldn't be labelled or have writing on. It is also important to note that there are different requirements for what a learner can use to complete an exam, so please check the front page of the exam prior to giving the learner a black or blue pen or a pencil. After you've made learners aware of the exam conditions, check each of their identifications. Acceptable forms include passports, driving licences, employer cards and other official photo IDs. In case a learner cannot provide one of the listed IDs, please refer to our invigilation exam policy, and any issues with learner identification must be reported to Highfield before starting the exam. If you're not confident of the identity of the learner, you do have the right to turn the learner away. However, if the learner is unable to produce any of the forms of identification listed above, an invigilator may accept another form of ID containing a signature, for example, a credit card. The invigilator must be satisfied that the signature on the identification matches the learner's own signature on the learner list. Please do note that Highfield does not allow signature ID verification for security qualifications or for the Scottish Certificate for Personal Licence Holders qualifications under any circumstances. Hand the exam answer sheets to the learners whilst explaining that they must stay sealed for now. When the exam begins, please make a note of the examination starting time, the tutor number and centre number. Whilst learners sit their exam, an invigilator makes sure that the examination conditions are maintained throughout. This includes silence, minimum disturbance and integrity is upheld. This means you are not permitted to read questions aloud or provide translations or definitions. If a learner does require assistance with the exam, as mentioned, then the learner should inquire about a reasonable adjustment prior to the exam. It sounds simple enough, right? But sometimes an unexpected disruption may occur. So here's what to do if your exam has one of those occurrences. For whatever reason an invigilator should evacuate the venue, they should do so in accordance with the site's procedure and leave the examination papers on the desk. Upon returning, if the invigilator is happy that the integrity of the exam hasn't been compromised, then the examination can resume with the remaining allocated time. The invigilator must submit a report of the incident with specific timings to Highfield. Please note, if anything untoward happens in an exam, then make a note on the declaration. If a learner must leave the room under exceptional circumstances, they must be accompanied by a separate invigilator. They cannot take their mobile phone with them nor make a call. Likewise, they shouldn't communicate with anyone else outside the examination room. Check that the number of completed exam answer sheets and apprentice booklets matches the number of learners. Moreover, ensure learners have correctly entered their details on the exam answer sheet. And no, under no circumstances should an invigilator change any information on the exam answer sheet or mark the examination or assessment. We've made it! The exam's ended. It's time to relax. Well, not quite. We recommend photocopying the paperwork, except the question papers, and store them on a trusted device, in case of postal issues. Once the exam results have been released, the digital copies can be deleted. Please do not leave the room with loose exam papers, or if the learners are still working. Make sure all papers, even if they're unused, are returned in the grey bags. Opened question papers must be returned to Highfield. Under no circumstances is anyone permitted to copy any part of a question paper. A witness should be present as papers are sealed in grey bags. All completed materials must be posted to Highfield within 48 hours after the exam. And that's it. You can finally relax. Remember, we're always available by email or phone, so don't hesitate to contact us if you need it. Now, you're ready to invigilate. Good luck! If you need a refresher on these points, there's a tick list going through all the points covered in this video that's available in the download area.